Hello again, geometry friends. Today we are going to continue with our lines and angles exploration. Today we're going to see what happens if the two lines cut by a transversal are parallel. Now in the picture we should see that we have an arrow and another arrow indicating to us that the lines are parallel. Again, our transversal is this line right here, creating a neighborhood upstairs and a neighborhood downstairs in which we can compare our angles. So if these lines are parallel, we are actually going to use our best common sense guess to indicate to us what the facts should be. If the lines are parallel, corresponding angles, let's take a look at an example, perhaps 2 and 5, look to be the same. What do we call it when something's the same? That's right, corresponding angles are going to be congruent. So if we have any pair of corresponding angles, they will be the same. Let's take a look at another pair. What about alternate interior? So for example, angle 3 and angle 6. Well, if we already know 2 and 6 are the same, 2 and 3 have to be the same by vertical angles, old fact. So yes, in fact, these are also congruent. Let's do sort of the last easy case, and then we'll get to some that are a little trickier. If we look at our alternate exterior, like 1 and 8, what looks to be true? Why, yes, in fact, those are also congruent. Now our last two cases are a little bit sneaky. If I look at same side interior, let's say 3 and 5, they don't look to be the same. One's acute and one's obtuse. But if I start to use my facts, well, I know 3 and 6 are the same, and what do 5 and 6 have to add up to? If it's a line, they add up to 180. So lo and behold, what word did we use? That's right, supplementary. My same side interior angles will be supplementary. Same thing goes for exterior. Same side exterior like 2 and 8, not the same, but supplementary. Let's see how this works with some numbers. Let's say, for example, I tell you that angle 2 is 60 degrees, and I want to find all the other angles. Well, let's work through what we know to be true. 3 has to also be 60 degrees because it's a vertical angle, and we know that vertical angles are congruent. 2 and 6 are corresponding, therefore this is also 60. And now there's lots of ways to get to 7. We could think about alternate exterior, vertical, or corresponding. All roads lead us to 60. If we go back to angle 1, well, that makes a straight line. So 180 minus 60 gives me 120 for 1, 120 for 4, 120 for 5, and 120 for 8. Some general rules of thumb. If they look the same, they are the same. So all acute angles are congruent, all obtuse angles are congruent, and any acute plus obtuse will add up to 180. Let's see how we can do this with a little bit of algebra. So if we take a look at our picture, we have, again, parallel lines. We have to either be told that with the arrows or the words for our directions. We never want to assume that they're parallel. Okay, now we look at 9 and 12. Does anybody remember what pair those are? That's right, alternate interior. And if we have alternate interior, our fact says that they are congruent. If they look the same, they are the same. So what should I do with these two? Good old Algebra 1, we will set them equal. 70 equals 10x, and a little bit of solving gives me x equals 7. Okay, let's try another one. 9 and 11. Now, what pair is that? Same side interior. Were those congruent? I think not. Instead, we said those are supplementary. Should we set them equal this time? Only if we want the wrong answer. Supplementary means we add them up to 180. So 70 plus 10x equals 180. Again, a little bit of good old algebra 1. 10x equals 110, and we divide to get x equals 11. I hope you'd enjoyed this little bit about parallel lines and angles. Have fun practicing, geometry students.